Hello everybody, and for today's adventure we are at the Normandale Japanese Gardens. It is located in Bloomington, Minnesota. Japanese Gardens is 2 acres and it's open to the public all year round. Right when you come in, there's information about the garden. And there's maps, so you can go on a self-guided tour if you want to. What started as a vision became a reality through the persistent efforts of many dedicated individuals. This public garden is a local treasure, welcoming visitors from all around the world. A dedicated designer. Takeo Watabe, noted landscape architect with the Tokyo Metropolitan Government in Japan, donated his time and talent to design and build the garden as a symbol of friendship between Japan and the United States. Conceptual drawings began in 1969. Watanabe, sorry if I'm butchering it, probably am, returned many times over the years to help oversee the construction and maintenance of the garden. Through the persistent efforts of Bunny A's and Yvonne Tucan and the Bloomington affiliated garden clubs, the work began. The garden was built by countless volunteers. Fundraising and donations came from local companies, MISLS, Japanese veterans of World War II, as well as the support from the city of Bloomington. Garden dedication took place on July 18th of 1976. The Normandale Japanese Garden Community continues today to ensure the garden's future for many years to come. Japanese American veterans of World War II trained at the Military Intelligence Service Language School, MISLS, in the Twin Cities. As translators and integrators, appreciated the way that they were treated in Minnesota and returned to the area after the war. The generosity of the Japanese American World War II veterans were a tremendous asset in funding the construction of the Japanese garden. Spring Wonder Cherry Tree. Prugus sargenti, Hokkaido, Normandale. In 1981, Takeo Watanabe met Roland Jefferson, a botanist at the National Arboretum in Washington, D.C., and discussed Minnesota's harsh winters and the concern for flowering cherry tree would not survive. In 1984, the National Arboretum set Normandale's garden community a number of genetically different seedlings grown from the trees in the mountains of Hokkaido, Japan. One lone seedling survived and was monitored for several years by Normandale's biology department. The Japanese Garden Committee, University of Minnesota, and Bailey's Nurseries. The tree was patented and went on sale to the general public in the spring of 2010. For every tree sold, the garden receives a small fee. In 2012, at the ceremony coinciding with the 100th anniversary of Japan's gift of flowering cherry trees to Washington, D.C., Japan presented a special commendation to the Normandale Japanese Garden Committee to the great efforts with cherry trees promoting mutual understanding between our two countries. The entrance gate stimulates the visitor's anticipation of what lies ahead. Entering through the traditional entrance, the busy world remains outside, as the visitor senses the garden's mood. The square shelter is just inside the gate. This shelter provides a retreat and an overview of the garden and natural pond beyond. The Bentendo is the hexagon-shaped building on one of the 3 islands in the garden's pond. The name Bentendo is a combination of 2 words. Benton is a goddess of fortune. Do is a suffix used to indicate certain kinds of buildings. Buildings are used only for accent in Japanese gardens and rarely have a function. The funds for the Bentendo were raised by the Military Intelligence Service Language School. Veterans who were stationed at Savage and Fort Snelling during World War II, overwhelmed by the welcome extended to them by Minnesotans, they wished to leave a memorial to their time spent here in Minnesota. The Bentendo and the Teikobashi drum-shaped bridge are gifts from these dedicated from and outstanding Nisei military veterans. Pets are not allowed in the garden. The round shelter is the umbrella-shaped resting place where one can view the reflections caught in the garden pond from a higher elevation. The rocks symbolize quietness, timelessness, and stability. They constitute the skeleton of the garden and give it strength and character. The 3 stone lanterns in the garden are hand-carved in granite and were shipped here from Japan. The pagoda lantern is an impressive 10 feet in height and is located on the high hill near the entrance gate. The zigzag bridge is a pedestrian bridge composed of small segments. The object of the bridge is to focus the visitor's attention to the mindfulness of the place and time. The flat bridge has been painted red, one of the few colorful focal points of the garden. The original cedar planking has been replaced by palop imported from Brazil. Turtle Island and Crane Island are named because of their shape. Crane Island, the smaller, and Turtle Island both signify longevity and good health. In Japan, it is said that cranes live 1,000 years, a turtle for 10,000. I didn't expect him to be that big. They're really big. I'm not seeing the drum bridge unless that's the drum bridge. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye!